What are you doing here? Women don't know a thing about fighter jets." The jeers rang out as Sarah Mitchell stood quietly in the crowd, just another nameless civilian. They had no idea that 12 years ago she had been a Top Gun legend burying her past in silence. But when emergency sirens wailed and an F-22 spiraled out of control, its young pilot sending out an SOS, everyone heard the name thought lost forever. Mitchell. Valkyrie, back in the cockpit. Sarah stood there in her plain gray hoodie, dark hair and a loose ponytail. The coastal sun beat down on the air show, the crowd buzzing with excitement. She didn't look like much, just a woman in faded jeans and scuffed sneakers. Her face was calm, but her eyes were locked on the sky. She'd been coming to these air shows for years, always standing at the back. Nobody knew her. Nobody cared to. A vendor nearby rolled his eyes. "Hey, lady, you lost. This ain't a yoga retreat," he called out. The crowd chuckled. Sarah's fingers paused on an old keychain in her pocket, a tiny metal jet from her Navy days. She didn't answer, just looked back at the sky. Then it happened. A sharp crack split the air. The F-22 wobbled, black smoke trailing from one engine. The radio crackled. "Mayday, mayday, I've lost control." Panic rippled through the crowd. Young guys in flashy sunglasses pointed at Sarah. "Think she's going to fix that jet with her yoga moves?" They snickered. Sarah didn't flinch, her eyes staying on the spiraling jet. The commanding officer stormed out. "Is there anyone here skilled enough to fly a Raptor?" Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Sarah's gaze shifted, the softness gone, replaced by something hard like steel. She stepped over the barrier, walking toward the control room like she owned it. A news reporter spotted her. "Looks like we've got a wannabe pilot here, folks." Inside the control room, tension was thick. A major cease. Spun around as Sarah walked in. "Don't tell me she's volunteering. She's past her time." A younger officer chimed in. 12 years away from the stick. She can't fly a paper plane." Sarah didn't stop. She walked to the desk, pulled out a worn leather case, and flipped it open. The Top Gun instructor badge gleamed under the lights. Sarah Mitchell. The room went dead silent. The commander stared at the badge, then at her. "God, you're Mitchell, the one who downed 7 targets in training." "There's no time," she said. "Open the hangar." Sarah strode toward the backup F-22. A technician shook his head. "This jet's next gen. She won't keep up." Another muttered, 12 years gone, her reflexes are fossilized." Sarah climbed into the cockpit, her movements smooth, practiced. The radio crackled, the young pilot's voice breaking. "I can't hold it. It's going down." Sarah flipped switches, the HUD flaring to life. Her voice came through calm, clear. "Listen to me. Follow every move. I'll get you home." The F-22 roared to life, screaming as Sarah taxied to the runway. She launched, closing in on the crippled jet above. Fire spat from its wing, smoke trailing like a wound. "Match my climb. Stay with me." Sarah's voice steady over the radio. The young pilot followed, his breathing ragged. Sarah flew wing to wing, a deadly shadow maneuver, guiding the crippled jet back into stable orbit. Warning alarms screamed in her cockpit. The young pilot's voice came weaker. "I can't. It's burning bad." "You can. You will. Pull left now." He did, his jet lurching but holding. She mirrored him so close their wings nearly touched. The jets descended, the crippled F-22 wobbling, flames licking its side. The backup F-22 touched down first, a perfect landing. The crippled jet followed, landing gear screeching, smoke pouring as it hit asphalt. Emergency crews sprinted forward. The crowd erupted. Sarah unstrapped, climbed out, her legs shaking as she hit the ground. The young pilot stumbled from his jet, looking at Sarah with reverence. She nodded once and turned away. The voices from earlier, the mocking, the sneers, were gone. Sarah staggered, her breath coming in gasps. She took a step, then another, her knees buckling. She hit the ground. Medics rushed forward, lifting her onto a stretcher as the world went dark. When Sarah opened her eyes, sunlight streamed through a window. She sat up slowly, looking out at the empty runway. The door opened and the commander stepped in. Behind him, the hallway was lined with pilots and Marines. "Captain Mitchell," he said, "you saved that boy's life. You're still one of us." Sarah's breath caught. A young Marine who'd doubted her stepped forward. "Ma'am, I was wrong. I'm sorry." The commander stepped aside. 500 men and women stood in perfect rows. In unison, they saluted. Sarah's throat tightened. She looked at these strangers who'd mocked her, dismissed her. Now they stood for her. Sarah walked out of the barracks, the salute still holding. She didn't look back. The coastal breeze hit her face, carrying the faint roar of a jet in the distance. She paused, eyes lifting to the sky. For 12 years, she'd hidden. But today she'd flown again, and the world had seen her. The truth was there in the silence of the crowd, in the way, yet of that salute. Sarah kept walking, her sneakers steady on the asphalt. She wasn't invisible anymore. She never had been. The sky knew her name, and now so did they.